Hi guys, how you doing? So glad you could stop by and see this video. Today we're going to be talking about little noodle tubes. You guys familiar with those? They haven't been, at least for me, really popular for a while. But lately, someone at our creative group, which you're welcome to come over and join us at Facebook, by the way, Bisu Boutique's creative group. Someone did a bracelet with the little noodle tubes and some gemstone chips on memory wire, and it was delightful. So it kind of got the, the wheels going. And so we ordered them in, we carry them at the site, and we try to keep them. They seem to sell out as fast as we bring them because we're doing different things with them. We've discovered that you can take and put the noodle bead on wire or on your, whatever, and you can put washers and big hole beads over it and then have movement in your necklace. You can also wonky wire it. True. I'm going to show you some examples really quickly of some things that were done in the group this week. We had this big aha moment last week on the live session. That's why you need to come on Sundays, 4:30 p.m. EST. The next one will be this Sunday. I think it's July 21st. This is 2019. But anyway, we have these on Sundays and they're live, and we bounce a lot of ideas on each other, and we had this huge aha moment. So this is our aha moment with noodles. So come on over here and let me show you all the cool stuff you can do with these little noodle tubes. You won't believe it. Okay, I'm back to show you these cool little things that I just kind of came to me. I don't know, maybe somebody else, I might not be the original person for this. I mean, it's not that novel, I suppose, but we just got so excited on the live session when just kind of were messing around a little bit and like, oh wow. If you want to see the aha moment, you can go back to last Sunday's live video and you will see it, because it was really cool. Like, oh wow, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this. So anyway, this is a little necklace that I put together today rather hurriedly, and I found two. I made a little mistake in it, and also if I had been thinking more, I would have put brass ox chain or gingerbread colored chain back here, but oh well, that's what I did. So it's still good for the teaching purpose. It still looks pretty. I missed a bead down here too, but anyway, the point is you can do cool stuff. And what's neat about it is, okay, I used this noodle in the middle here, put it on wire, and now my washer beads move, and I just love that. It really looks cool when you do sections of this on memory wire bracelets and you have pieces moving around. I can't remember if I showed you that. I know I showed it to the group. I made a couple of bracelets like that, and they are so fun. You need something that has about a 3mm or a little bit bigger hole. You don't want too much bigger. 3mm hole is about perfect to fit over the noodle. And this is, in case you wonder, what are you talking about, Brenda? What's a noodle? This is a noodle.
A noodle tube.
A noodle tube, yes. See? There it is. I think this one's a little bit longer, so I'm going to go with using this one. Now, when you get these and you start to work with them, you have to figure out, some of them, it's hard to get the wire through for some reason, so you have to kind of poke it. Now I have about 4.5 inches here of gold finished 20 gauge copper wire. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to push it through and see if it's going. It's fine, I think. Famous last words. Sometimes there's a little block. Let's go from this side and see.
Kind of needs to be like the wire needs to be curved or something.
Yeah, sometimes it helps. Yeah, I've found that I've had to throw some beads back, and I should have tried this one first. Okay, it's going through. So, yeah, I think you're right, Javi. It just wants to.
Because it's on that.
Yeah, here we go. Just kind of force it a little bit. You won't hurt anything. Okay, so then what I do is I want to pull this down to about the middle of that 4.5 inch piece of wire. okay? And this will be the centerpiece for my necklace. And there's so many ways you can do it. I have pictures to show you after I do this one of things, I told you, of things people did at the group that it was just so fun. So let's just get to it. Let's just get to it. So what I do is I figure out first what's going to be my focal bead in the center. And I'm going to put a bail on it so that I can hang something else. So then what am I going to do next? Well, I think I will put these brass ox washers. They almost look like that's the thing that happened. You know what?
Couldn't you like do one side?
You could. You know what? I'm going to do this. I just thought. I meant to do it before. See, I'm still figuring this out, guys. So, don't say, oh man, you're... Believe me, you want to think about this. It's really good. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put all my beads on this end. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to bend this wire so that what just happened won't be so likely anymore, because we're going to have to bend it anyway. So I'll just bend this one side and then I'll go back and do my other side. I just love the way these beads move around on this noodle. It's just so cool. Too much coffee in your life, Brenda Sue.
It's okay. Coffee
Too much caffeine. Okay, so now I have that. So now, since I centered it to begin with, I don't have to worry about going back and centering it again. So it's centered in the middle of this. And so I'll just go ahead and bend this back too. I just figured something out. Guess what? You can't do that. You know why? Well, you can if you want to stop with this, but I like to put another bead. You can see I put another bead up here, so nope, that's not going to work. So I'll leave that one like that for now. Bend it back. Maybe you could do it, while you're working on it. These are the things you find out, so don't bend it at first. But you're going to have to hold it very securely, or find a stopper of some kind so that they don't go flying off while you're working on it. But it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. What's this last one I used? Oh, I had a little round bead. I don't have one now. Well, that's okay. I won't use it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, since I have this on here, is I'm going to bend it now. I like to extend it a little bit, And I'll show you an example of that in one of the girls' pieces they did. It really is a good way to go.
You
don't have to.
How much wire you use?
Yeah, I cut off 4.5 inches. You won't need that much, but this way you'll be sure that you don't come up short for making your end loop. You can always cut that off the end. Wire is not expensive. Okay, so now this is what I've got going on here. Yeah. So now I'm going to make my loop. I want to wrap my end loop. I can always cut it off. So what I'm going to do, then nothing like thinking out loud when you're trying to show somebody how to do something, right? Okay. So now I have it bent, so it's not going anywhere. So I want to look to see, compared to my other one, because you have to kind of make sure the arc is right, and you can adjust it later, but if you make the arc too U-shaped, too bent, then it doesn't look so hot. Unless you're going to make like loopy sections of more of them, maybe. Maybe we'll try that another time, but for just a centerpiece, you don't really want to get too much there. So that's about right. So then in this case, since I've got that stopped and I've got this bent over, now I'm going to wrap this. So I'm going to do my deal that I usually do. Just bend it over, like when we do a wrap. Now, what you're going to want to do when you do the other side, you're going to want to be sure that you get it about the same size loop, because that'll mess stuff up. That's one of the big things that'll mess a design up when you're doing loops and stuff and connecting them, is if you don't get your loops about the same size, it can actually affect the whole entire measurement of the necklace. And then it throws it off. Now I got that too high. I'm having a dilly of a time today. Go back. Ever do that? Start to wrap it and then it goes the wrong way for you. That's why sometimes people like to work off the roll of wire, because then they don't have to worry like, oh, you know, if I have to back up or something, I'm not going to have enough or something like that. You don't have to worry about it. Okay, I'm going to go in real tight. I'll pull that down here. That's just good safety, not to be cutting wire off and letting it fly. Because you never know. It could fly up in your eyes or somebody else's. Okay, I've got that pretty good. Good enough for now. Okay, so that's really coming out cool. I like it. That's kind of elegant. It's kind of a different look for me, because you know me, I like to do all this funky stuff that's all over the top and everything, and you know, but this is a little different. So now what I want to do when I do the other side, here's another thing too to keep in mind when you're connecting things. You want to get that loop going about the same way this loop is going. Because if you make it like going sideways, it's probably going to connect funny and not hang right. And that's so annoying. So just start out by getting them going the same way. When you do connectors, get your loops on either end going the same way if you can. And then you won't have to worry about that. Okay, so now I'm going to wrap it. And I'm going to have a, before I start wrapping the end, I'm going to have a good look and kind of, you know, I don't have to take and get calipers out and measurement thing and measure it. Although you could, yeah, you could. I mean, there would be nothing wrong with doing that, actually. You might make fewer mistakes. But yeah, eyeballing it works fine. And I think, don't you, eyeballing it, we're okay here? What do you think, hubby? I think we're okay. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it. Now this time, hopefully I can get the wrap going the right direction and I won't have to redo it. And voila. Sweet success.
So the loops are supposed to be inwards when you're wrapping them? Or outwards? Or does it matter?
You know, I like them going this way. If you want them to go the other way, you could. But I think it will make your necklace lay better if you make them go in the same way as, you know, your piece that you're making. That's my opinion. But definitely, whatever you decide to do, you want them going the same way, okay? So now, I don't know why this artificial lighting is just not my friend today. I can't see. I have to get new glasses. Okay, bend it in. Okay, that's not too bad. I'll come back and correct that later. You can always do that at the end. Okay, so now I'm looking at this. I want to be sure that this arc is like not one side too high, like pulled up this way and one going down. I want to make sure that it's all just perfectly going the right way. So the first thing I see is I want to take and I want to raise this loop a little bit just by moving it up a little bit. Okay, and then I want to make sure. It's better if you're going to have the ends tip up a little bit. You would want to make them tip a little bit backwards, not forward. A little bit backward will usually make it so that your necklace will lay better. Okay, let's put it flat on the table and see what happens here. See what kind of an arc I have. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. And here's the thing. Once you make your necklace, you don't have to worry about it so much because you can adjust it later. I can still adjust this one. In fact, I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to take that piece off of there and do it again because I forgot a silver bead. And that's critical to the design, which is a shame. But I did, so it happens. Going too fast. Doing too much. Okay, so now I've got this pretty dangle here. And I didn't really bring anything down here to work with yet, but I mean, I think that's pretty straightforward. You could put a nice pendant there, or you could hang a circlet, if you have a gold circlet. This would be kind of a cool look. And then you could hang stuff from that. That would be probably an easy way to work with it also. Actually, I think it would be a very easy way to work with it. I would just like to attach it just to show you. Even if I don't have the right jump. Yeah, this will do it. It's not the right color, but I just want to give you the, I just want to complete it and so you can see. would be the best. Get you an idea. You know, sometimes the visuals are the best thing. So you know, here's the thing with that noodle, and I'm going to show you another time because we're trying to make our videos a little shorter. You can wire wrap this noodle too, and I'm going to show you an example. I have a couple of pictures that I printed off my computer and brought down here with me so that you can see. But this one is mine and we'll finish it. Okay, so I'm going to open that up a little bit more. We sell these circlets this site. I actually have gold ones too. I think I have these in nearly every color. We were out of the silver ones, but I think they just came in. So anyway, so now let me get this hooked up. And this is a little bit smaller of a jump than I'd like. I'd rather have an 8mm here, but I think I'll make it work. This is a 6. And I always like to get it butted up tight as I can. I'll probably have to go back and adjust it. And that's the thing, when you're done with the piece, put it on, look at it in the mirror, take a picture of it. Boy, I'll tell you what, when you take a picture with your phone and you go back and you look at it, you will see everything that you need to correct. It will just pop and jump right out at you. And it's really a smart way to do it. So anyway, there you get an idea of the look I'm going for with this. So now I could hang stuff from it. More, I don't know, another noodle maybe. A curved one noodle like going like that. I don't know, that's kind of strange. Yeah, I think just regular bead drops is good. But anyway, just to finish the necklace, you could go from here and just put chain on if you want. You could continue beading. Honestly, I put this chain on. I thought it was going to be a good match. It's not a great match. And to be frank, I rather finish my necklaces out at least about this far with beads. If I'm going to put a little chain, I want it at the very back, so that when you're wearing it, all you see in the front going around is beads. You know, unless you're going to separate it and do like a section of chain, then a section of beads, and a section of chain like that. You know, but yeah, that's my feeling. It's neither right nor wrong. That's just what I like visually. But I would just go ahead and keep making. You can visualize how this is going to look. See if I took and put. Awesome, right? And then you would just take and repeat some of these beads down here, and you'd have a great piece. So there's a little trick that doesn't take very long, and you can have some fun. And just the main thing to take away from it is to remember to get the same beads on each side, and you could bend it a little bit like as a bead keeper so it doesn't roll off while you're doing it. Then straighten it out, put these on, and then make sure that your loops are going the same way and that they are pretty much the same size. And then if one side is bent down, because you're on wire that's bendable, if one side is bent down, the other's up, get both of them, lay it down, have a look at it, see how it's laying, and if you need to adjust it, then adjust your arc. If you have to push it down, push it back, not forwards, because it will lay better. If you catch it forward, it doesn't lay so hot. Okie dokie, so there's that. And then, before I finish with you today, I want to show you these two. Now, these are earrings, and they're made from the very same aha pieces that we had in the video. And they're just noodles again with a bunch of washers on them. Look how cool that is. They move. Okay, now of course with an earring they're going to all move down to the bottom. But if you put this on memory wire, you're going to have, and you do like a space every so often, and you put one of these noodles and put the washers on, you're going to have the coolest bracelet ever. You're going to have so much movement. I'm always talking about get movement in your designs. Well, there's literal movement. So what I did is I just put them on ear wires, and then I took and I hung a little something from the bottom. And I'm liking them. They're easy to wear. They're lightweight. And I love these little bead cages. They're just so springy, sprongy, and cute. Now here's the thing, if you use bead cages, you're going to have to make sure they don't compress. It looks to me like that one compressed just a little bit. So I may have to compensate on the other side. But anyway, make them and stick them in your ear and wear them. And wait for somebody to say something, because they're going to. It's so much fun. I got this turned around wrong. Okay, before I take off today, guys, I'll just put this over here so you can keep looking at it. And then these are pieces that the girls, they just took this idea and ran with it. And first of all, I wanted to show you this one. Is it coming up in there?
Bring it a little down.
Bring it down a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty much the entire picture. There you go. Karen Eaton made this. And she just took the idea of doing the wonky wire, which we talked about that last week. We didn't really do it, we talked about it. And she did the wonky wire. And if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, you can just scroll back a few videos, because you'll see we have a few videos more on wonky wire. Anyway, but we did it on a bracelet form. This is on the noodle. So she did it on the noodle. And then, you know, she just speeded up the sides. But what I love is she got her little loops in her wonky wire pretty even. And then what she did is she just made little clusters of beads and hung them, and the one in the center is a little bit longer. How cool is that? And these beads are they're check beads that she got at beadsboutiques.com. These are red jasper beads. I don't know if they're from us or somebody else. I think we had some red jasper. Karen comes to see us pretty often, but it doesn't matter. You know, whatever you have. I mean, you can see this necklace is not going to cost you a lot of money to make. And it's not going to take you a whole long time. The more ornate you get with it, then yeah. And the wonky wire, doing that, it'll be a little fiddly till you get on to it. But you'll be all right, especially if you've done some wonky wire bracelets before. And then, besides Karen, she was the first one to make one. Then today, Jan posted this one. Is it showing it? Put it down a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. It's on the thing. And Jan did the wonky wire, and she just did a loop in the middle and beaded up the sides so far. And then she did her chain, and she put a lovely mount that we have at the website. This is one of the new favorites. Everybody loves this mount. It just came in, I think, in brass ox and silver. And she put a mount in it. She put the mount on, and then she put her stone. That stone looks kind of like 25 by 18, or maybe it's 30 by 22. I'm not sure. But she put that on there, and then she ran a little piece of 2mm rhinestone chain around the edge, glued it down. This is fantastic. And then she did the wire wrapped earrings, and then at the bottom she left a loop and put another little bead on the bottom. And you know why that's a good thing to do, instead of just putting a whole bunch of beads all the way down the wire to split it up? Is because it gives the earring movement. If you put like solid beads all the way down this long, it's just going to be staying there still and look maybe even a little strange. But if you stop part way down and you put a loop and hang another little tiny section for a drop, it will look great. You'll have a swinging pair of earrings, that's for sure. So anyway, I wanted to tell you about this today, this new technique. Look in your stash and see if you have some noodle tubes, and start playing. And then what I'd like to do is invite you to come on Sunday, July 21st, 2019, to our live session. It's the next one. We generally have one every Sunday. And come at 4:30 p.m. EST. That's Ohio, USA time. And we'll come on live, and we stay on for about an hour and 15 minutes. As long as people are talking and discussing and have a good time, we stay asking questions. And you can, it's interactive. You can ask us questions and have a literal conversation with us. And it's just so much fun. So what I'm going to do is, between now and then, I'm going to work on doing some wonky wire on this. I'm going to finish some memory wire bracelets doing this. And we're just going to talk about it a whole lot more and get you in the mood to work with noodle tube beads. Okay, so it was really great to talk to you today, and I hope you'll come over and see us at www.beadsboutiques.com, because that's where we have the good stuff, and that's where most of the stuff in these two designs and in my own came from. And also one more thing. If you like the little springy, sprongy beads, these are such a hoot. These are all vintage. And when I run out, fortunately I have a lot of them right now, but when I run out, there are no more. The company that made these long ago doesn't make them anymore, and I bought them out. So I have all there is, which was a lot, but they will run out eventually. So I would say, why don't you hop on over And get some of these for your stash. Look, if you've got the bead cages in here. You've got, these are all made out of wire. Some of them are little like springy, sprongy things. Like you can push them together. Like, I don't know if you can see that. They're so cool. It had a machine that did this. Now some people have said, well, you could do that yourself by hand. Yeah, I guess so, but it would be difficult. These are all very uniform. This is box lot 0716, the website. Okay? So, I'm going to get ready to take off. But before I do, if you liked my video, and I hope you did. If you didn't, I understand. But if you did, would you give me a thumbs up? I would appreciate it. It means so much to me. If you feel like it, comment. If you have questions, comment right there in the video. And I will get right back to you because I have a little notification thing in my screen. And if I'm online, I try to come back to you as soon as possible and answer. And subscribe to the Bisou Boutiques channel, why don't you? Because we have, last I counted, over 230 videos. And they're kind of wonky like our wonky wear and kind of homespun, but we have a good time and you're invited. So please come and see them and subscribe to our channel. Okay, that's all I have to say about that for today. Come see us on Sunday, why don't you? All right? So, you have anything to say, Hovey?
Nope.
Okay, she's got nothing to say today. I can't believe it. Okay, we'll see you on Sunday. Bye.
Bye.